Hello. Before going into the analysis of these two games, 12 and 13 of the World Chess Championship, I would like to say something. Be careful, switch off your engine, switch off the analysis. The computer analyzing is going to damage your brain. A lot of people saying, oh, there are a lot of mistakes, the level is low, players are playing bad. Please, join me in this analysis and you will see why it's so much unfair to criticize the players, because the games were extremely difficult and many times the variations that the computer offers are not human. It's an alien intelligence. So don't trust the computer so much, trust the grandmasters. Okay, see you in the video. Hello, welcome to the Internet Chess Club. I'm Grandmaster Miguel Illescas, and I'm going to do the video recap of games 12 and 13 of this World Chess Championship. Before this game 12, Nepo was leading 6-5, and he had the black pieces, and the game started with a college system. It's a quite unusual opening for a World Championship, but it's clear that Liren, he was desperate, trying to find a way to play a game without too much theory, so to get some chances to fight for the victory. He badly needed one positive result in this game, only two whites left, so this was extremely important. Then okay, after c5 he went knight bd2. This is completely already unusual because white will not be able to develop the bishop. The normal way to play is c3, and then if black takes, white has the possibility to take back on d4 and leaving some hopes to develop the bishop to g5 or f4. Okay, in the game we got the move knight bd2. The main purpose of this move is to get the opponent out of the book. Black was thinking for a while, he took on d4 and played queen c7. I think this is a clever move. He wants to avoid the lines with knight c6, bishop b5. And after queen c7, white played c3, still waiting, maybe the possibility to play after knight c6, bishop b5. Then okay, Nepo was thinking something like 10 minutes here, and he came with a new move, new idea, but I think nobody will repeat it because it doesn't make too much sense. He went bishop d7, trying to prevent bishop b5. The point is that after knight c6, bishop b5, then white one day wants to take the e5 square with the knight, and black may be a bit annoyed by this ping. But of course bishop d7 has a main problem, and I'm a bit surprised that Liren didn't use the opportunity which was given, because he could now play knight e5 immediately. And this is, in the Caro-Kann, this is quite fashionable, this kind of behavior, to jump very fast with the knight. And here it's perfect, because after knight c6 we have the other knight ready to come to f3. And in this way white can get any moment a pair of bishops and also have a very comfortable development with the bishop to d3, castle, and a very strong knight on e5. So this was immediately slightly better for white. But he played more robotic, let's say, bishop d3. And then after knight c6 castle, it's true black had to play this move, bishop g4. This is like admitting that something went wrong with the experiment bishop d7. Because, okay, white could go bishop b5 now if he wanted with a tempi down. It doesn't make any sense, but it was possible. In my opinion, one very interesting move here was queen a4. Just trying to challenge this tempi lost for black with threats like knight e5. But okay, in the game again, Liren was playing very standard rook e1, knight f1, and after a few moves he had to make a very difficult decision. In this position, move 12, he was thinking for almost half an hour, finally taking on f6. It's very interesting because this move has been criticized, and really I think it deserves an exclamation mark, because it's very dubious, but it gives real chances for a fight, and that's what the Liren badly needed. So I mean, I saw somebody on the internet recommending bishop h4, to play bishop g3 and to trade the right pieces, suggesting that white should trade these bishops. That's probably true, but okay, bishop h5, we trade the right pieces and we are going to make a draw. Very correct draw. This is not what Liren needed. Finally, he got what he was looking for, a more chaotic game and with chances, especially for both sides. But we will see some mistakes in this game. And but okay, I mean, this was, sometimes it's like in football, in soccer. I mean, you need to get the game a bit crazy when you're losing, and the risk to take one more goal is not, I mean, you have to take it because it's the only way to score. And here in this game, this is what happened after a few moves which made the position very, very difficult to play. In this position, Nepo was thinking for a while, 22 minutes. And I understand why. Because the main move here, I would play in blitz, king h8. I mean, I would not think too much this move. But the point is that after h3, bishop takes, queen takes, and now there are some problems because f6 is hanging. I mean, we are not in time to take on g3 because white is going to be a pawn up with an attack. And then there are some ideas here like knight f5, queen h5, and if black plays f5, he has to be careful because this can be a bit annoying. I mean, white can grab 2-3 pawns, get a very strong light square bishop, and probably Nepo was a bit worried about this. That's why he played the very natural good move f5. So later there come people who is very clever on the internet, especially on Twitter. They say, well, king h8 was very good because if h3, bishop takes h3 and take, and the computer shows completely equal. Well, okay, I'm sorry, but I take, and after check, I go king h1, and then I piece up. I don't care what the computer says. I mean, it's very difficult for black to sacrifice a piece in such an important game when you have enough with a draw, and play with a piece down because the computer shows 0.00. Okay, give me the computer, and I will play with the computer, of course, taking on h3, but this is not human chess. So in the game we have f5, h3, take, and now, of course, if king h8 again, knight f5 is very dangerous, so black played knight e7. Now everything seems to be alright for black. He's going to play king h8, rook g8, and he can even be better here. But of course, Liren had an idea, which is to play g4. I mean, we have now a real fight on the king side, both players trying to break to the enemy king. And after a few moves, it came the first little mistake from white. In this position, Liren played bishop c2, and it's true, it's probably not the best. Computer recommends, and I agree, rook g1 and queen e2. This makes more sense to bring the rook immediately to g1, because, okay, bishop c2 looks like tempi lost. In fact, what he wants is to leave the d3 square for the queen, just in case. But this idea was well met by black, as we will see, bringing a rook to g6. He played rook g6, which is a very good move. In fact, all this part of the game, both players played very well, extremely accurate. Only this bishop c2. And now there are some very important ideas to understand. I mean, black had to calculate what's going on after g takes f5. But black has rook g2, it's a very important move, and rook g8, and we have a very strong attack. Rook h2 is going to be checkmate f4, but rook c2, black is winning. So Liren went rook g1, both players continue to play very well, and at this point it looks like black is doing very fine. I mean, he still can bring the rook to g8, and it's difficult to offer a plan here for white. Sometimes black is bringing the rook and playing f5 just to break the king side. The knight on h5 looks strong, but it can also be weak. And somehow Liren got very much worried here. and after thinking for a while he went c4. This is a move a lot of people criticized. Why? Because computer says it is a bad move, but I give exclamation mark to this move because it gives some chances for white. It brings life to the position. White still was slightly worse. I mean, even with the move which computer offers, queen d1, black plays rook h6, very simple, and black is very okay. I mean, I don't see any plan for white here to try to play for a win, and also there is no way to make an easy draw. So Liren went for activity with c4, take queen c3. Of course, queen c4 is not possible because knight f3, a double attack. And now after queen c3, first of all, white wants to take on g6, and second, there are some ideas with d5. Of course, if you check the computer says black is winning, and everybody, oh, how bad these guys are playing. I'm sorry. I mean, shut down the computer. I mean, try to look at the position with human eyes, and you will understand what's going on. Here, white wants to take. You don't believe it. Well, okay, I mean, in some lines, white simply wants to take, for example, rook c8, protecting the pawn. And then, okay, we can play, for example, check and take. Why? Because the knight comes back to g3, and we grab this knight, and we are going to be exchanged up for white in an open position. Computer says, oh, but black has compensation. Okay, but still, for human, this is a bit scary to play with black, and that's why both players were very worried about these ideas to take on g6 and knight g3, and the black knight doesn't have a square. So they were calculating a lot of lines. In my opinion, the simplest way to play with black and very human was simply to take the rook away, rook h6. White cannot still take because knight f3. And then, okay, after a move like bishop e4, we can play very, very safe, rook b8, and if he takes, then we have very strong move f5. This was more or less making a lot of sense to me, and I think Nepo would probably have very good chances to win the game playing very simple way. In fact, the move he played is also not bad, b5, it's a good move, because if white takes and plays knight g3, this idea, black has a very strong move b4. But this is not so obvious. I mean, the point is that now if queen c4, knight f3, not so obvious why black has bishop c5, I mean, very precise moves, and black is winning. But okay, I mean, once I show you, oh, it's very easy, the computer shows, come on, in a real game, all these lines are very difficult to evaluate, to calculate, and to find all these moves like b4, for example, okay? But okay, it's clear that Liren, he saw this move before because he went a4 instead of taking on g6, and Nepo went b4, which is a very good move, but in my opinion, a bit wrong. Why? Because, okay, he had a very comfortable position just to keep the position with a6, was very safe, and I believe he would never lose this game with black here. We have the same problems here. If white takes on g6, later there is all these b4 moves, and I don't really see a problem for black. But okay, b4 objectively and according to the machine is a very strong move, but for reasons which Nepo didn't have in mind when he played. Because after queen takes c4, which white is almost forced, now the move was knight f3. But it's very difficult to understand what's going on here. Everybody in internet, in Twitter, oh, knight f3, how is possible he didn't see this very easy move? And everybody was analyzing queen c6, blah, blah, blah. Let me ask you a question. Switch off the computer and tell me what to play after bishop takes g6. Try to think what to play for black. It was very simple, this move knight f3. But okay, very simple to take the rook on g6. And now what do you play? Okay, if you answered human move like h takes g6, now we have queen c6. And now it is much stronger because before black could take on e1 and play rook g8. But now this rook is gone. So after knight f3, we take on g6, h takes g6, queen c6, and black is in trouble. In fact, maybe he can survive with queen d5 take, but white is probably slightly better in this endgame. And these guys, poor guys, they had to calculate all these things. And of course, if you switch on the computer, it will tell you, no, but knight f3 after bishop g6, it comes the obvious move, queen h4. Come on, I mean, this is not obvious. I mean, in a real game, when bishop takes g6, you take hg immediately. You don't stop to find this beautiful move, which is true, it's winning. But of course, it's not, I mean, it's not a move which you may expect a human to find so easily. And the point is that another moves are not working. I mean, knight g1, bishop e4, and white is winning, knight e1, then maybe bishop f7, and it's very unclear. So we cannot blame the players not to find this kind of moves. I am very angry with all these people who are so clever with the engine switched on. After queen c6, it came another mistake, and everybody was blaming Nepo for playing bishop b8. Come on, he's protecting his bishop. I mean, what is so wrong with this move? Oh, because he was winning with knight f5. Okay, again, another move by the computer. It's a difficult move, very strong, it's true. The point is that if white takes with the bishop, then black simply takes and the rook protects the bishop. That's very nice for black. And if gf5, then black has queen h5, take and mate. Of course, knight f5 he missed, and it was a strong move. It's a bit scary because suddenly all your pieces are hanging, but it works, and it's true that it works. So bishop b8 was a mistake. And here white had the opportunity, and this was not so easy again. We can maybe blame Liren, but well, I mean, the lines are not so easy. The right move here to punish black was bishop takes g6, and after take d5. Come on, it's not obvious again. I mean, the move d5, in fact, in the live transmission in chess.com, some grandmasters who were checking the game, one of them was with the engine saying d5 is winning, and the other grandmaster was saying, what are you talking about? I take the knight, why is it winning? Okay, it's winning because we take on e6 and the computer says it's winning, that's why. The point is that after take, then white takes here, and if check, take, check, and we have this check. It's of course easy once you know the line and you calculate till the end, but of course not so easy to find during the real game. Liren played queen b7, which is not a good move, but very natural because he's attacking f7 and he's attacking b4. So very human move, and he keeps control on the square f3 so the knight cannot jump. It's very natural move, still a mistake. And black, again, another mistake. He still missed the move knight f5. We know that knight f5 is strong, and he missed it again. The point is that if queen takes b4, queen h4, and black is attacking very fast on h3, it's very difficult for white to defend. And if bishop e4, again, knight, queen h4, and rook g4. Okay, yes, knight f5 was a good move, but Nepo finally played rook h6, which was natural, trying to prevent the bishop from taking the rook. Here, white went bishop e4, very good move, bringing the bishop to the defense. So now knight f5 is not so strong anymore. And in this moment, black played another mistake. But let me tell you, what would you play here with the black pieces? Think for a while. They're threatening to take this pawn and this pawn. What would you play with black? But switch off the computer, please. Because the computer is saying that black is okay, but how? And Nepo played rook f8, which is very natural, protecting his pawn on f7. Let me show you the computer variations. You will see it's not so easy for human. One idea, bishop d6. And the point is I protect b4. And if white takes on f7, this is extremely difficult to find this move, bishop e7. Come on. And now we trap the rook, the queen, sorry. This is very difficult. And if queen f4, we have the miracle move, rook h5. Okay, yeah. If you play like this, then you are a stockfish and you deserve to be world champion, of course. But still, black had another idea, which is, again, very difficult for human, f3. And the idea, after queen f7, to play knight g2. Come on, man. in all my career, maybe I never played knight h4 to g2 with black. I mean, what is this? The square g2. It's very difficult. And the point is that if rook d1, knight f4, and then we are attacking the knight, which is protecting the king. And of course, once you see the idea, you say, oh, how easy is chess? Okay, go and play. After rook f8, queen b4, queen d8, queen c3, all these very precise moves. Both players playing very well here. And well, here probably it was a better idea to play bishop d6, maybe to try some a5 to control the pawns. White finally is with a pawn up. And if before maybe queen e7, this was probably safer. But Nepo went queen h4, it's natural. He's trying to create some play on the king's side, but there is nothing for him. He's attacking on f2, and white played rook e2. It's very important to point that if d5 check, black has e5, protecting the mate on g7, and black is very okay. But after rook e2, Nepo collapsed. This mistake, which I'm going to show you now, which happened in the game, this is, yes, really a real big blunder from young Nepomniachtchi. And after playing this move, when he came to the board, he was really upset. He could not believe what he made. I mean, he played f5. This is a crazy move, because after rook e6, d5 is winning. And it's not so difficult to see. So he really truly collapsed. He had still plenty of time. He could play something like queen g5 and rook g8, and he has some compensation for the pawn, his worst, but a lot of fight. But after f5, rook e6, there is nothing to play. I mean, he was thinking for 16 minutes, played rook h5, and he had to resign a few moves later. Now, black resigned, the bishop coming to d5, and okay, white is exchanging a pawn up. So, in fact, all the game was decided by a big blunder on move 34, f5, which shows that Nepo was completely not concentrated. He was completely in panic mode, playing simple moves. And it's true that probably he got nervous. He was so close to be a world champion, and I'm sure it was difficult for him to sleep that night after this move f5. He was shaking his head, looking at the public, looking at his opponent, saying, what did I do? What is this crazy move? Okay, so after this game, which you can see it was not so bad, it was very difficult, very interesting battle. Liren was very brave. I think he deserved this win, and the result was 6-6. So we go now to see game number 13, which was not so exciting, so it will be much faster. Nepo playing with white. He had to try to get something with white, but also to play very safe after being defeated in the previous game without any rest day in the middle. So he went for this Rui Lopez, Gyoko Piano, playing very slow, and with h3 trying to get out of the main theory, which goes with rook e1. Also, Liren gets out of the main line. Knight a5 this is the standard way to play, but he went bishop b7 first. And here, well, the move's more natural, rook e1 or knight d2, but Nepo wanted to surprise, and he played the bishop e3. In the Rui Lopez, this move almost never works. It defines the bishop very early, and black is in time to get very strong in the center, as you will see in a few moves. White finally, Nepo was thinking 15 minutes. If he still tries to go slow, he can get even worse. I mean, black in these positions can get the initiative, and he has more space, and it can be better for black. So he went d4, which is a natural move, but after a few moves, black showed that he understands the position very well. This move, knight c4, took Nepo by surprise, but it's very good. Black gets rid of the knight, which was on the edge of the board, and he's attacking e4, removing the knight from d2, which was doing a very good job protecting e4, and white is kind of forced sooner or later to play f3. But after f3, bishop f8, now the rook is attacking on e3, d5 is coming, white played bishop f2, and after d5, take. This position is completely alright for black, completely equal. White found probably the best move, bishop e4, And maybe even we can say that black is slightly better. And this is a very important moment. I saw some journalists saying, well, Nepo was almost losing. Why? Because the move rook b8. Okay, I'm sorry. Rook b8, maybe black is fine. I mean, maybe it's even slightly better, but come on, how winning? In fact, in the press conference, Liren said that he was not sure about the position after bishop takes d5, queen d2, and he may be left with a stupid bishop. He was worried. Can you imagine if we manage to trade these bishops? We can maybe play some endgame with a good knight versus bad bishop. He was a bit worried. He was thinking for a while. Of course, I mean, if I work with, again, if I know that the computer is showing that black is better, immediately my brain is going to adapt. And I believe that after rook b8 take, black is very okay. Black is better because I know that the computer is showing minus 0.8. Okay, in fact, in the game, after bishop e4, black played rook e5, and he's trying to prevent white from playing bishop d5 because rook takes d5. He wants to play f5, and in the few moves, the position became pretty complicated. After black played queen e7, computer is recommending queen e8, again moves which are not so human because the bishop remains unprotected under this ping. That's why queen e7, which is, I mean, it's more human, protecting the bishop on b7 and preparing f5. Finally, black played f5. He was thinking something like 9 minutes to make sure that all lines are working. White is forced to go for these tactics, bishop g3. And now, very well, he sacrificed an exchange, trying to play for a draw. This endgame is very drawish. During the game, somebody said, well, but f takes e4 was more promising. I'm sorry, again, I mean, we are only checking the computer evaluation, not the moves. Look, if white takes on e5, take rook f3, what do you play here with black? I invite you to offer a move for black. Of course, if you switch on the computer, you will find the right move, but I can promise you it's not easy to find. And in fact, the most natural moves, white is better. After rook e8, white is winning. Rook f1, take check. And after knight b4, which is natural, trying to take on f3, trying to jump to d3, but black is in trouble because rook g3 is very strong. And if knight d3, rook c4, and all this was calculated by Liren, of course. And white is winning here. Check and take. So chess is very difficult. I mean, what's the point that after pawn takes e4, take, black has the move queen e6. Okay, again, a very computer move and a very difficult move to find. Now there is a threat bishop c5 and everything comes into black's favor. But of course not easy. White, by the way, could play queen takes e5, making a draw. So the move f takes e4 didn't really make a difference. In the game, rook e4 was working very well for draw. We can see the position. The knight is coming to d3. White plays well, trying to trade the black rook just to play very safe. And maybe white has some symbolic advantage in this endgame, but really nothing that we can criticize the players to make a draw here. Black was thinking for 8 minutes, king of 7, and sorry, white was thinking 8 minutes, rook e2, and well, finally a draw was agreed here. I don't see really any advantage here for white. I mean, bishop b6. Okay, I will go bishop d6 check. The king is coming to the center. We have two bishops and one pawn for the exchange, so it's very okay. And they made the draw in move 40 after rook e2. So now the score, it's equal, 6.5, 6.5. Everything will be decided in the last game. So I hope you will join us here on ICC to watch the outcome of this very interesting World Championship final match. See you in the next video.